I'm wondering what you need to see to know this is real.
Well, look, I agree with what Eric just said. This is a positive response from the White House. They're taking yes, even a yes, but for an answer and getting diplomacy underway. As Congressman Meeks said in your previous segment, diplomacy is hard work. It all comes down to the details. So, yes, this is a positive moment, but a heck of a lot more work to be done here. And we don't know the answer to a number of questions, including whether really Hamas can produce all the hostages and bodies of those who are deceased within 72 hours. But I do agree with Eric that the president's saying that Israel must stop its bombing now to create the space and the quiet to get those hostages back is a very positive statement in a very difficult situation. A long way to go, but better than where we were yesterday.
What do you make of the timing here, Wendy? The president posted on Truth Social another threat today, gave him a deadline, 6 p.m. Sunday, or all hell, as he has said, will break loose. Gaza already is all hell. Did that threat unlock this acceptance?
I don't know that the threat alone unlocked the acceptance, and I would say it's a yes but acceptance. It's not a total yes acceptance yet. But I think that Egypt, Qatar, probably United Arab Emirates, even Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, those who have signed on to this proposal have applied pressure to Hamas as well, Qatar being quite important to that. And as we all know, the president just gave Qatar, which is a key negotiator here, what amounts to an Article 5 security guarantee from the United States. Now, I don't know if that will hold up, because usually those things are done by treaty, not by an executive action. But nonetheless, the president clearly wants to build a strong relationship with Qatar. And I will say one other thing. This probably, if it keeps going forward, puts the president in a slightly stronger position going into the APEC meeting at the end of October in the Republic of Korea in his negotiations with China, and how he is seen in the rest of the world, if he really can be the driving force to bring peace, not only to Gaza and the horrific conditions that the people in Gaza have been attempting to live under, some starving to death, desperately needing to get in. There is a lot of work to be done here, but as I said, we are in a better place today than we were yesterday.
Well, assuming this is real, Wendy, and we project to rebuilding Gaza, this could also be extremely complicated. I know the president has talked about making this the Riviera of the Middle East or something, but how do you rebuild Gaza without removing significant portions of the population?
I think the Riviera concept is a long way off. Gaza has been destroyed. The president has suggested that, and Israel has suggested that people move out of Gaza City, but they don't have fuel to do so. They don't have homes to go to. They don't have a way to move. They're worried about their children and their health. There is little health care left. Doctors Without Borders has left because it was such a dangerous situation. So what is critical here is to get aid in and to begin the rebuilding. And to go back to part of your previous discussion, we don't know whether Hamas will agree to the governmental structure that the president has agreed to. We don't know if they will disarm. So there are lots of details here yet to go. I know the president of the United States is desperate for a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't think he's going to get one in 2025. That will get announced October 10th. All of the nominations are closed, but maybe he's trying to get to 2026.
We'll see how that goes. I know it's something that he's been talking about quite a bit lately. What would this mean then for the future of a Palestinian state? And what would it mean for Iran, obviously pulling the strings for Hamas?
Two very good questions. I think for peace in the Middle East, clearly both the Abraham Accords and the further work that's been done is trying to bring the whole region together. Obviously, the fall of Assad was an important piece of that puzzle, sort of degrading Hezbollah and Hamas, and the Syrian militia supported by Iran critical to being able to move forward towards peace, but an enormous amount of work to go on. And it looks like the president is sort of pulling back as sanctions, including the new sanctions at the UN that have just been imposed on Iran, put pressure on Iran in hopes that Iran will do what it needs to do. I think it's a little bit of a risk here, however, probably more than a little bit, because Iran is moving forward to reconstitute its nuclear positions, reconstitute its facilities. Even Israel has said that the huge amount of enriched uranium is probably still there. They have advanced centrifuges to increase the likelihood of getting all that they need for a nuclear weapon. And even if they haven't decided to go there yet, what I call hardliners, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Quds Force, is probably pressing to make that decision to go for a nuclear weapon. So I hope there's some back-channel discussions going on with Iran, because we cannot really get to peace in the Middle East unless we can also deal with Iran.
What would this mean for Iran's other proxies, like those in Yemen, for instance, who've been attacking ships on behalf of what's happening, or in protest, maybe a better way to put it, of what has been happening in Gaza?
No, without a doubt. What they're doing in Yemen, still giving some support to Hezbollah, clearly still engaged in some ways probably with Hamas, and still trying to see what else they can do in the Middle East. So your point is well taken, Joe. This is an issue that really shouldn't be sidelined. The administration should continue, as I said, even if it's through quiet back channels, to make sure that people don't take their attention away from getting what is necessary here in order to make sure that peace can be longstanding, if it can be achieved with ending the war in Gaza.
Just lastly, Wendy, how does this end? If the deal is real, is there a signing ceremony, and who shows up for Hamas?
Well, I don't know that there's a signing ceremony. I think that Qatar has really been the country that houses Hamas. Whether Hamas's leader would sign a document, I don't see that happening. But I do see a collective action in the Middle East if, in fact, all these details can be worked out. As I said, this is a good day, but there is still a lot of detailed work ahead. And I hope all of that detailed work, as the president seemed to indicate, is truly going on, because without it, there are a lot of pieces of the 20-point proposal that Hamas did not address, and we need those answers.